I'm Stephanie, certified and licensed speech-language pathologist, and I'm here to help you feel confident in supporting your little through their speech and language journey. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so that you don't miss anything. Let's talk about how to respond to a meltdown. Terrible twos, am I right? No, I am not right. I thoroughly dislike that phrase, and I will explain why. It's because the phrase terrible twos insinuates that our littles are doing something to us. They're doing it at us. And we have to keep in mind that they are not giving us a hard time, they are having a hard time. And the first thing we need to do is shift our mindset to understanding that they are having a hard time. And we're able to move on from that and learn the best way to approach these meltdowns. So we're going to think through this from a cognitive linguistic standpoint. We're going to approach this situation through understanding how our little is able to process language and use language in these situations in order to resolve, okay? So our littles are dysregulated. They're not okay. We're going to use the example today of our littles want to wear rain boots when we are going to a play date where they need sneakers on because the rain boots just aren't safe. So we know this, we understand this. We are grown humans. We get this. Our littles are little humans and they do not understand this. So our little is dysregulated on the ground, losing their mind because they want to wear their rain boots to the play date. Okay? That's where we're going to start. The first thing we need to acknowledge is that when they are dysregulated, their language processor is shut down, okay? Our littles have very limited attention. They're only able to attend to 1, 2 things at a time when we're first starting, and each little will be different, but in these moments, all of that attention is going to this explosion in their head that they are upset, okay? They might not even at this point remember why they are upset. We just know they are able to attend to the fact that they are upset, and that is taking all of their attention. So their language processor is shut down. This is not the moment to talk to them. They are not going to process the language that you are throwing at them, okay? So the first thing we need to do is regulate this little human, okay? We need to regulate them because when they are regulated, the language processor is able to come back and work elegantly, and we can work through this. But before we can do that, we have to regulate. All right, so we're going to go down to their level. If they're on the ground, get on the ground, okay? If you have a physical little, hold that baby tight. If your little does not like being touched when they're in that moment, don't touch them yet. Sometimes it's, a roller coaster where they don't want to be touched in that moment and then they do a little later, and that's okay. Follow your little's lead because they are the ones having a hard time. You need to stay calm. You need to stay regulated. You are the grown human, okay? So as the grown human, we are going to come down to their level. That immediately calms down that fight or flight response because when you are over them, their little body is going, I'm ready to fight. I will die on this hill, okay? So we have to bring that fight or flight response down by coming down to their level. Now you're even. They are no longer in attack mode, okay? So we're down on their level. Now we're going to take advantage of some vagus nerve stimulation. We are going to breathe in. Take a big breath. Make it loud and obnoxious where our little can hear it over the explosion that's going on in their head, okay? So they are exploding and we are there calm. And that's going to help you stay calm too, because it is not easy to stay calm in these moments. So you taking that big breath, get that belly moving. That is going to calm you down, and your little is going to see it, okay? They're going to see you breathing, you are calm, and they're going to try to pick that up. So now you are both breathing. Either you're holding them tight and they're feeling that breath, or they're next to you and they're seeing that breath. They're going to feel your heart rate slowing down. Their heart rate is going to start slowing down. So we are all breathing together. And you can take as many of those obnoxious breaths as you need, okay? Because you need to stay calm. You are the grown human. You have strategies that you know how to use. So you got this. Now our little is using your strategies. You are co-regulating. All right. Now that our heart rates have slowed down, the explosion has simmered, we can move on to the next thing. You want them to be heard. So when they were exploding, their language processor not working. To them, however their brain is working in that moment, everyone's brain was working in that moment. So they couldn't hear you, and to them, you couldn't hear them, okay? So now they suddenly can hear things. They can process them. And so they want to feel heard because they thought that you weren't listening, because they weren't listening. So that's when you say to them, I hear you. I hear that you want your rain boots. Okay? They feel heard. Okay, mom's listening. That's where we're at. So we're down on their level. They feel heard. Now is when you want to recognize that their language processor just flipped on, okay? That sucker just clicked on. We don't want to overload it. Well, you can't wear these because you're going to the play date and it's just not safe. No. Cut that nonsense out. Just give them a few words. You don't have to address the real problem. This is your chance to problem solve. While you're taking those deep breaths, problem solve what you're going to say. Problem solve the situation. We know rain boots are unsafe. We need them in some sort of grippy shoe that they can run around in soccer, whereas the rain boots, their feet aren't snug enough and there's not enough support. It's not good for their feet. Whatever is going on in your head of why what they wanted doesn't work, problem solve it, okay? So I know we have 2 shoe options that both fit for a play date where we're gonna go play soccer. So I am going to take those 2 shoes and hold them in my hand. This reduces language needs because I am holding the item. So if I don't have the item, he has to think about what I'm saying more. So if I'm like, do you want your space shoes or do you want your gray shoes? He has to think, which ones are those? Okay, so that automatically puts demand on the language. And so when I'm holding those items, that language demand is reduced, okay? So I'm gonna give choices. I hear you want rain boots. Those are not available. Would you like your space shoes or your gray shoes? Okay? This puts the power in their hands. I just told him rain boots are not available. I don't need to get into why. He doesn't care why. He cares that he wants his rain boots, and I'm saying no. Okay? So we don't need to get into all the details why. I'm just saying those are not available. They're not in the picture. Me and these shoes are the picture. We've got space shoes and we have gray shoes. So that reduces that language demand, okay? In this moment, he doesn't have to put any more verbal language demand in because I have the options here. All he has to do is pick one. So I'm going to go over the strategies we all use. And before I move on real quick, another option could be rain boots now, gray shoes later. So that's another option. And then the whole time you're in the car, you can be telling them, rain boots stay in the car, gray shoes later. Okay? Once again, we're keeping that language demand low. So, from the start, we have an exploding little. I got down on their level. Okay? Then we co-regulated. Took those deep breaths. Then I made them feel heard. Then I provided visual options. Okay? Try it out. Let me know how it goes. I think it's going to make a world of a difference in your life. Let me know in the comments. I'll talk to you later.